All right, guys, welcome to Healthy Living Global. Welcome to Healthy Living Global. Welcome to the live streaming today. Once you come into the live streaming, tell us where you're watching us from and your name. All right, so just as you all know, this is Healthy Living Global YouTube channel, and in this particular channel, our goals remains very simple one: health promotion, disease prevention, creating of awareness of some important things we need to know, diseases that are around us that are expected to prevent or that is preventable. We need to be aware of them, then know the necessary measures to take so as to prevent them, because we always emphasize that prevention is cheaper than cure, not even really Nigerians in this particular. So we know how the country dealing with us. So it's better we opt for prevention instead of waiting for the sickness to come so that we start treatment. All right. So if you have been following us closely, we have discussed a lot of things, even on that of cancer. We have discussed about Lassa fever, male infertility. We have discussed about different silent killers diseases, right? Even non-communicable disease. We've discussed a lot of things in this particular live streaming channel. So do well to be part of us. We do live streaming every day. We still have other videos we post from time to time, but we do live streaming every day by 10 a.m. and on Sunday between 12 to 3 p.m. Do well to be part of our live streaming every day so as to get more information from this platform. And please do well to share the link of this platform to groups where you belong to, or to your friends, your relations, those people you would want them to benefit from this platform. Please let them be aware of this Healthy Living Global platform. All right, it will help us to give these messages we are sharing here to them. All right, so we want a lot of people to come together and have an understanding of what health is all about, what prevention measures is all about, how to prevent diseases, how to prevent illness, some misconception we're having as far as our health is concerned. So all those, you need to correct them and take the necessary measures to live a healthier life. All right. This particular channel is focused on what taking healthy life to a global scale. So we have a lot of people join us from different areas: USA, Canada. What we have recorded so far: USA, India, South Africa, all right, and also Nigeria. So you can tell us where you are watching us from. It will go a long way, and let us know how far we have gone, all right, in this movement of healthy living, all right, taking healthy life to a global scale. So thank you for being part of us. If you are joining us for the first time, do well to subscribe to our channel and turn on notification. And if you have been with us here and you have not subscribed, is wrong, right? You need to do the needful thing: subscribe to our channel and turn on notification for a health tips, all right, that we are going to be receiving here. Now, someone says sound like a mission. And not, yeah, his mission is, in fact, vision, goal, anyhow you may put it, but have a very larger goal to achieve, right? So now, what we're discussing today is about male infertility. We have discussed that of female infertility, which we listed a lot of things, right? When we're discussing female infertility, even ovarian insufficiency, we've discussed a lot of things that could cause female infertility, all right? If you Want to know about that, you can go to the live streaming we have done before. Now I think that should be last week. You just check female infertility. I did it part 1, 2, 3, I think up to 5, no, up to 3, like part 1, 2, and 3. So today we are starting our discussion on male infertility part 1. All right, male infertility part 1. So all right, so now I said the third one is the tail. In the tail region, um we have we have that particular part that helps what in propelling this particular sperm to the permanent site. It have this flagellum, right? Just like if you are taking all these cells that we normally see in all those secondary days, all right, all this when we're secondary school, you see when they say this particular cell have flagella or flagellum. So you have a lot of thing that helps it to propel it or helps it for movement. So this particular tail of sperm have a flagellum that helps it to propel it forward. So we say the head have DNA, all right, and also other enzymes that help in helping it to penetrate the egg. The mid piece have a lot of energies, all right, and a lot of mitochondria that help it give it energy to move forward. And the sperm have this flagellum that help in propelling the movement. If all these things are not working efficiently, which is to say, if the morphology is not okay, the structure is not okay, it goes nowhere. Even when it is produced, it's not going anywhere. It's not moving from the point of production to where it's supposed to fertilize an egg. So all those structure are very important, are very necessary when it comes to reproduction. So, which is, if there's any issue with this, it can lead to what infertility in men. Infertility in men. So far we have discussed about how sperm is being produced and the structure of sperm. All right, now if you have any question in regards to what we have discussed just now, you tell me in the comment section as we proceed in other discussions for the day. The next thing we are going to discuss about is the storage. All right, when we talk about the storage is stored, the sperm after production is stored where we call epididymis. All right, this epididymis is a kind of um, a tube that is at the back of the testes. All right, at the back of the testes, that is where this tube is located. So after the production in the testes, it goes to the epididymis, and that's where it will stay. That's where it will mature. That's where it's going to gain the ability to be able to fertilize an egg. That's where it will have its necessary structures to be able to do what is expected to do as a sperm in the epididymis. That is where it stays till after every work that is supposed to do. All right, so now it is being stored in the epididymis. You understand? So now, after the storage in that epididymis, what else will the sperm do? That's what the question we are going to ask ourselves, and we are going to answer it as soon as possible. Now, we are talking about the next thing now is transportation. And just like I mentioned, I say if there's any issue with this sequence or these processes of production, right? This process of production, this process of storage, or this process of transport, there may be male infertility. So it's not all about female problem or village people or this thing, but we're talking about now what are the causes of this male infertility. Stay tuned. Now, when you talk of the transport of sperm, right? When of course we have mentioned that after the production it goes toward the epididymis. Then, if you want to move from the epididymis, that is where the transportation will take place. It will move through the vas deferens, right? Vas deferens. Now, the first place it's going to go is what we call where it's going to pass through is through the seminal vesicle, right? And seminal vesicle, what does it do? It produces a fluid, all right? It produces a fluid that is made up of, that is very rich in fructose. Fructose, of course, fructose is a kind of glucose, all right? It's kind of glucose that helps what? Helps in giving that particular sperm enough energy. And this particular fluid that is going to release, that is rich in fructose, have enough semen. That is what constitutes about 60 to 70% of semen. And of course, you know that there is some sperm that can be released that does not, sorry, there is some sperm, some semen. Let me not mistake. Sorry, there is difference between sperm and semen. There is some semen that can be released that do not have sperm in it. All right. When they go for semen analysis, all right, semen analysis, you discover that some semen do not have sperm. And we are going to get to that particular stage where we discuss about that, right? What could make a semen, because through the come through the penis or ejaculated, we call it sperm. All right, anything that ejaculated, we call it sperm. But I tell you that most of the things you see, they are semen, they are not sperm. Even though sperm can, some of them can have sperm, right? Have sperm and have it in multiples, but there is some that will be ejaculated without sperm, and we are going to discuss it, right? We are going to just stay tuned, which we call what? Azoospermia. All right, so stay tuned. Now, it will pass through the seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle, we say that it's going to release a fluid. Let me not rush it, right? So now I said after the production of sperm in the testes, it goes to the epididymis, all right, where it's stored for some time. It matures, it gains the ability to fertilize an egg and everything. Now it gains even the momentum to be able to move. Now it moves through the vas deferens. If you enter the vas deferens, now it will be passing through all these stages. I say stage one that is going to pass through is the seminal vesicle. When it comes to the seminal vesicle, there will be a fluid that will be secreted on that particular sperm. And what this fluid will do is going to increase, it's going to supply with enough semen. All right. So you're going to, the fluid of that seminal vesicle have enough, it's going to constitute about 60 to 70% of semen. All right, that's going to make sure that what it moisturizes that particular sperm and make sure it can be able to move freely, right, without any interruption, without any challenge. So that's what this seminal vesicle will do. And of course, we say that it's very rich in fructose, which is to say that it have a lot of energies, all right, that contain this particular seminal vesicle fluid. All right. Now, the next stage is prostate gland. All right, it will pass through the prostate gland. And what will a prostate gland do? It will release its own fluid also. The prostate gland is going to release its own fluid. And this fluid that the prostate gland will release have an alkaline, is an alkaline fluid, all right? When we say alkaline, we have acidic and alkaline, all right? So now, this alkaline helps in protecting the sperm so that if the sperm gets even to the woman or is moved down to the urethra, all right, the acidic environment of those areas will not destroy the sperm, right? So, which is what happens, is a very practical thing, that if this prostate is not working properly so as to release this fluid that is alkaline in nature, of course, there may not be infertility. All right, there may not be infertility, because once the sperm gets to the woman's reproductive tract, the whole acidic environment there is capable of destroying the sperm, and that is all. And sperm do not need anything acidic environment. Once the acidic level is high, it dies off. All right, so that is what happens. I say the next thing is that after the seminal vesicle, the sperm will move down to the prostate gland. All right, there will be fluid that will be secreted in the prostate gland, making sure that it alkalinizes that particular sperm to make sure that it protects it from the acidic environment of the urethra, and also that of the reproductive tract of the woman. So after ejection, all right, we are still going to reach there. All this we are talking about the transport of sperm still within the male. All right, so now another thing again, once it moves away from that particular prostrate gland, it will move straight to what we call cowpeas gland. Right, this cowpeas gland produces what a lubricants that helps what in moisturizing the sperm. Still, that is what this lubricated nature that you are seeing, all right, or you have experienced, that's what makes it to be in that form. All right, the cowpeas gland is what helps in bringing the fluid that will make it to be in that nature. All right, as you can see, the sequence is going gradually. The processes is very, all of them, all those glands have an impact on the sperm. Let me recap again. I said after the production, it moves to the epididymis, from there into the vas deferens, then you begin to move to the seminal vesicle. The seminal vesicle will secrete a lot of fluid that have about 60 to 70, that will make up 60 to 70% of the semen. All right, and this particular fluid is rich in fructose, which will give it enough energy that will help it to propel it forward. Now, we said in the prostrate gland, what happens there is that what prostrate gland will secrete some fluid that will make that particular sperm to become alkaline in nature, so as to protect this particular sperm from the destruction of the acidic environment of the urethra of the male, and also the reproductive tract of the female. So it protects it from acidic environment. And that of the cowpeas gland is what it does, the what it secretes a lubricant that helps what in lubricating the sperm and making sure that what it helps it to move to where it's expected to move. So that is it. That's what happens. Now, after this movement, let's discuss about this particular. We have succeeded in discussing what happens in the movement, and the next place is going to move is into the urethra. But let us talk about how it's being moved to the urethra. Now, that's what we call emission and expulsion. That is two different things, a way of sperm being released. But emission is talking about the movement after passing through all these seminal vesicle, all these prostrate gland, the cowpeas gland, moving it down to, after the whole moisturization and even the whole fluid secreted on it, it will be moved down to the urethra. Right, in the urethra, there's an open in the urethra, of which, of course, you know that urethra is a place of which this thing, the urine passes. But when this particular sperm is coming, of course, someone cannot be urinating and be releasing sperm at the same time. So, which is to say that when it comes to this sperm release, the urethra is going to cover the part of that urine release. Right, the urine will not be released; it will cover that particular part. While sperm will be we undergo what we call expulsion. Right, it will move away from the body through the penis. So one is emission. It will come into the urethra. All right, when it comes into the urethra, that is after this, all the whole movement, it will be emitted into the urethra. Then there will be a lot of some contractions in the urethra. All right, when you see a lot of contraction in the urethra, it will move that particular, that is when the man now is stimulated, right, through the sexual intercourse and everything. So when the should I say the sexual arousal reaches its peak, all right, the man can now eject, can now undergo what we call, the sperm will now undergo what we call expulsion. Right, it will now move away from the body. All right, which if someone that is looking for maybe a way of impregnating woman or anything, is going to move away into the woman, right? So that is how it works. So when we talk about ejaculation, there are two sides of ejaculation: emission and expulsion. So expulsion is the main one of taking it away through the penis out of the body, and the emission is bringing it down from all the whole glands and all the whole thing into the urethra, all right, for within the shortest possible, within all those period that is moving. And we say that this sperm, right from the production, it lasts 64 to 74 days for it to produce. Sperms that are not being used within a specific period of time will be reabsorbed into the body, right? It is going to be what? Reabsorbed into the body, and more will still be produced. So I've seen someone, or I think I saw it somewhere, someone asked a question and said, what about someone that having sex every day? Will the person be able to produce enough sperm that are needed, especially the count that are needed? All right. What is there is that the practical or the reality of it is that there's supposed to be sometimes given for the testes and everything. Of course, we have mentioned a lot of processes involved for it, for sperm production to take place. All right. So if there is this continual, like morning, afternoon, night, morning, afternoon, expulsion, all right, there's no how the sperm will still have the same count. It's not possible, because its production, it takes a lot of processes for this production to take place. So, which is to say that some people problem may be sexual abuse, whether in marriage or anything, sexual abuse, right? Like 3 times in a day, 4 times in a day, and all of them expulsion, how about? Because any expulsion that is, which is part of the ejaculation, any ejaculated sperm is supposed to be up to 2.5 mil. All right. If it's not up to 2.5 mil, the quantity of the sperm needed to even propel it and even reach the fallopian tube and all right, guys. Welcome back to this live streaming. Sorry for the network glitch. Well, thank you for being part of us seeking to the end. We had a lot of network challenges, so you're trying to rectify it as well. So we've succeeded in discussing about how sperm is being produced and transported, how it's being produced, stored, and transported, all right, within and even out of the body, which we've mentioned a lot of processes that have taken place, even from the um, works of follicle stimulating hormones, luteinizing hormones, um, even the work of testes as a male primary sex hormones. And we have discussed about that of storage. We said that is stored of the testes, right? So of which we said after the storage of this sperm in the epididymis, you move through the vas deferens into other glands. I got no. All right, guys. Welcome back to. Sorry for the network interruptions. We are going to just summarize for today and call it a day. Tomorrow is another day. So those who fights and run away live to fight tomorrow. I think that's what we tell this network now. So summarize for today. Tomorrow is still another day. We stream every day by 10 a.m. So don't forget, do well to be part of our live streaming every day. So we've succeeded discussing how sperm is produced and even how it's being stored, how is being transported, right, within and even out of the body through expulsion. All right, we have that of emission and expulsion. So expulsion through the penis out of the body. So of which we explained that when it comes to that, after the production in the testicle moves to the epididymis, from there it will be stored within some times and move to the vas difference. From there, it moved to the seminal vesicle, which we release its fluid of about 60 to 70% that made up this semen. All right, and we said it have this fructose, is rich in fructose. All right, and that particular fluid will help the sperm, and when it out of the male, so and also when it goes to the cowpea gland, it lubricates it the more, all right, helping to support the movement of this sperm to the right part that is supposed to take. Of course, we say that infertility is a condition. Male infertility, which the man um, is having or have up to 12 months of unprotected sex with a woman who have been tested and known that she is fertile, all right, through all medical procedures. They have checked her and know that she's fertile, but the man is having sex with such a woman unprotected for up to 12 months without the woman getting pregnant. We say that what the male is having what infertility. All right, that's what this male infertility is all about. Now, what are the things we have mentioned about sperm production, even sperm structure, all right, that can be able to help it to move to the permanent side or move to where it's supposed to fertilize an egg. Now, what are these problems that could lead to male infertility? Number one, we say is sperm production problems, which is as number one. Under sperm having low sperm count, or what we know as oligospermia. All right, those sperm count, it will the sperm quantity will not be enough so as to what fertilize an egg or even move or swim, all right, to reach an egg. So if the quantity is low, it can lead to this low sperm count. What could be, of course, we are going to mention some of all these at the end, but let me just give you a hint. For instance, if the man is wearing always tight clothing, or is all this kind of driver that sit down in a particular place that emits